Okay, guys, let's start off in a little bit of a different way here. For now, I'm going to be including developer options as an option for you to set up your TV set. And we'll start off by just going into the little wheel up here on top. And when you go to the wheel, I want you to go down to About. And when you go to About, I want you to click into Build. And when you hit it I think it's about 8 to 10 times. You hit the middle button in the middle there, the little on the little mouse, for lack of better words, on your remote control. Hit it 8 to 9 times, okay? And it'll say you are now a developer. It'll come up. Mine says no need, you are already a developer because I've already done it before. So when you do that, you go back and you go into developer options in your settings. Okay? And in developer options, there's one setting that I want you to change. This will make your TV a lot smoother. It's called logger buffer size. Select logger size per log buffer. It's normally set at 256. I want you to put that down to 16 M. So 16 M will get you a lot smoother the way that everything responds, the way everything rolls on your TV, your motion will be just quite a bit smoother just by putting that in 16M. You don't need to mess with anything else. I found that that's good enough to make everything that you click on a lot smoother. This gorgeous picture is the Z9F in standard mode. It looks like they switched off, so let's wait for them to switch back. And as you see that the picture is fantastic. I kind of blew it up so you guys could see it. Let me pan back out so we could do the settings for you guys. But here's basically the settings and how great your TV is going to look once we get it all tuned up and ready to go. So with that said, let's go to your picture adjustments. Now I have the older firmware on here. I haven't switched my firmware yet. I wanted to experiment with this firmware that I have on here now to see if I like it better than the new firmware, and I'll let you know about that later. But everything else is exactly the same. Make sure your light sensor is off, and we're going to go to advanced settings. In your standard mode, we're going to leave it in standard, and we're going to leave these alone: the brightness, the contrast, the gamma, and the black level. We're going to go into the black adjust, and I'm going to turn that down a little bit. That's just a little too much for me. And I'm going to usually either have that off or low. There's very slight difference between both of them. If your TV's too dark, go to low. I mean you need to enhance the black level just a little bit more, for lack of better words. Hit it on low. And if you want it's too dark, hit it on off. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. And not all together this morning yet. Then we're going to go to advanced contrast enhancer. I want you to put that on medium. Auto local dimming. Oh, excuse me. That's wrong. Advanced contrast enhancer, I want that off. My bad. Turn that off, guys. Get a better picture. Auto local dimming. You want to put that on high. Why would you put that on medium? You want your dimming zones to work actively, aggressively on this particular TV. I know some other TVs out there. I know my boy Brian from Whisper Status. It's set up a little bit different for a Vizio, but for this TV, you definitely want it on high. Along with the extent dynamic range, you want to put that on high too. And this could get distracting watching the news. Some guy was laid out on the hockey field there. And then you want to go out to, go right back out to color. Leave the color at 60. I don't like that. Some people may like 60. I think it's a little too much. So I'm going to put about maybe 57. Just kind of take the edge off a little bit, down to 55. So 57 to 55 is cool for me. You guys may like 60. I don't know. But it's up to you. Hue, definitely going to leave that alone. Now the color temperature, this is something I would like to talk about. Some people like a cooler temperature. Cooler meaning the whites have a little tiny bit of hinge of blue to them. If you like that type of picture, then you want to leave the neutral alone. If you want a warmer picture, or if you want it even cooler, you'll take it to cool, which will be a more bluer in the whites. If you want it more warmer, like you saw his face got warmer there, a little bit more natural looking, you want to put it on warm. That's what you want to do with those. And of course, this Expert One is like a reference, basically. And let's see, we're going to go to, so we're leaving it on neutral. A lot of people like it on neutral, so I'm going to leave it there for you folks that like it on neutral. And remember, this is kind of like settings you'd like to use if you're going to show off your TV in front of your friends. You're having a football game, they're coming over. This is like a standard setting for most people that most people like. This is not a reference setting. Now, the color temperature, I'd leave that alone. And if you put it in warm, then you can move the R gain down about 3 or 4 notches down to take some of the redness out of the picture when you warm it up. So if you put the color temperature on warm right here, then you'd want to put the advanced color temperature in the R gain on -3 or -4 to take out just a little bit of that extra red it puts in the picture when you go to warm. Live color, I like that on low. I feel that medium's just a little bit too much for me. So to punch it up a little bit, you have your friends come over, you want to show off your TV, I like it on low. You still want it to look, natural, but you don't want it to look too, for lack of better words, nothing against Samsung owners, but Samsung-ish. I want it to look Sony-ish, which is accurate. Accurate for standard, that is. It's not the most accurate settings, of course, is custom, but we're punching this up for company when you have company come over. And we have clarity, sharpness 60, a little too much for me, my liking, considering we are on live TV. So I'll bring that down to about 50. A little bit more of a smoother image, and it looks better in my opinion. Random noise, unless you have a lot of noise in your picture, you wouldn't need to use this at all. This picture is pretty good. I'm going to put it on low. Just a little bit of cleanup here, not a lot. And of course, I'm going to do the same with the digital noise reduction. I'm going to put that on low as well. Smooth gradation, you can leave that on low. Now, because what we did to the logger buffer size in the developer options, your smoothness is going to be a lot better. You could either run it on 2 or 1. I like 1 myself, it runs better to me. I like to leave the clearness on 1. There's not much of a difference, so slight of a difference in picture when you drop it down a little bit on 1. It's not quite as bright, but it looks more accurate in picture quality. And I think the TV just runs better that way. Cinemotion off, because we're not watching anything in cinema. If you do, you could turn that on. The motion's so great on this TV when you mess with the logger buffer. It's like fantastic. It's probably the best motion TV out there using that logger buffer in the developer's options. So that's my settings for standard picture mode. And there's only one other thing that I'd like for you to do. And I'd like for you to go to the, where was it at here? No, it's not on that side anymore. Remember, yours is going to be on the bottom if you have the Pi. This is the old Oreo I'm using right now. If you have the Pi, it's going to be on the bottom when you hit the button there. But what I'm going to do is, I think you go to, let's see here, it's picture adjustments, and no, it's not picture adjustment, is it? I'm getting lost here, guys. Let me figure it out here real quick. Okay, because I'm not used to using the older Oreo. In Pi, you're going to look for your settings wheel, and you just go to settings. In Oreo, you're going to hit it on the top right hand corner. In the Pi Android format, it's going to be towards the bottom. Just hit settings again. Go to I think it's in external inputs and HDMI signal format. You want to make sure you switch all these out to enhanced format. Boom, enhanced format. Boom, enhanced format. Every single one of these.